Let's end this marriage.
On our 3rd anniversary, this is what my husband says to me. I came to his office to surprise him, to celebrate our life together. Then I see it, a gleaming necklace on his desk. For a moment, I let myself hope it's for me. But he sees me looking and snaps the jewelry box shut.
Yolanda's come back. This is her present.
His old flame is back in town. And just like that, 3 years of my loyalty are worth less than a gift for another woman.
I'll make sure you're compensated. You have 3 days to make up your mind.
He thinks I'm boring, flavorless, and easy to set aside. He expects me to beg, but I am done.
No need for more time. I'll sign right now.
I sign the divorce papers without a single hesitation. Minutes later, we walk out of the courthouse, legally strangers. His phone rings, and his face fills with panic.
What? Yolanda's been hospitalized? I'm on my way.
He sprints to his car and speeds off, leaving me on the curb without a second glance. Just as his car disappears, a sleek black and red Bugatti rolls to a stop in front of me. My best friend, Davina, hops out with a huge grin.
Freedom looks good on you, Christina. Congratulations.
She tosses me the keys, and I get behind the wheel. We tear down the highway, leaving my old life in the rearview mirror.
Word is, your ex is tearing up the city trying to find the legendary doctor, King, for his precious sweetheart.
At that very moment, my ex-husband is on the phone, screaming at his secretary.
Don't stop until you find King. I don't care what it takes.
He's searching for a mysterious healer whose face no one has ever seen. He has no idea the boring wife he just threw away like trash is the one person in the world who can save the woman he loves. I'm not the quiet housewife my ex-husband remembers. Tonight, at the Vertbrook bar, I've shed that old skin. My friend Davina leans in with a challenge.
There's a shooting match next week. You thinking of signing up?
She tells me my old rival Dylan will be there, and the prize is a one-of-a-kind Bugatti.
If I show up, I'm not just going to play. I'm going to raise the stakes.
I tell her to spread the word. The winner doesn't just get a car.
Whoever takes the crown this year gets a personal session with King.
Davina's jaw drops. The competition is about to explode. I get up to head to the restroom. A group of men immediately blocks my path.
You look like you could use some company.
I give them one chance to leave. Instead, one of them reaches for my chest. It's his last mistake.
Move.
I snap his wrist with a sickening crunch. Then I move like a storm, dropping the rest of them one by one. But I don't realize someone is watching from the balcony above. It's my ex-husband, Brendan. His sister scoffs at the sight of me. His friends all laugh, calling me a gold digger.
Look at her. Bet she's prowling for a sugar daddy.
But Brendan's face darkens with anger. He shoves past his friends and storms off, heading right for me. I step out of the restroom and back into the crowded bar. With a casual toss of my hair, I start walking. In an instant, every head in my direction turns. I let them stare. Their attention means nothing to me anymore. Men watch me openly, their eyes trailing my curves with a hunger they don't bother to hide. But then a low, taut voice cuts through the noise. I freeze. I know that voice.
Christina Jones.
Across the room, my ex-husband Brendan is standing rigid as a statue. His jaw is clenched so tight, I can see the muscle jump in his cheek. A bitter, possessive look crosses his face. He glares at the men who are undressing me with their eyes. He hates even more that I don't seem to care. He hates that they want me. I turn my head slowly, meeting his furious gaze with a cool one of my own. I give him a slow, deliberate once-over, from his polished shoes to his angry scowl. He is nothing to me now, just another stranger in a crowd. My voice is casual, distant.
What do you want?
The chill in my tone strikes a nerve. I see him flinch as if I'd slapped him. That's all it takes to break his control. He marches straight toward me, his face a mask of rage. He closes the distance in seconds. Before I can react, his hand shoots out and seizes my wrist. His grip is like iron.
You're coming with me.
My ex-husband Brendan grabs my wrist in the crowded bar. With a sharp jerk, I rip my arm free.
Try that again, and you'll regret ever laying a finger on me.
He accuses me of dressing up just to get his attention.
No need to play dress up just to make me look your way.
But I just let out a cold, humorless laugh.
You think this is about you? Don't delude yourself. We're finished.
He lunges for me again, but my reflexes are faster. I slap his hand away with a resounding crack.
Are you insane?
My eyes drift down to his groin and back up with a smirk.
At least I'm not delusional, though you might want to get yourself checked for any functional problems.
His face twists in rage, but he knows he's lost. He storms off, utterly humiliated. I stand my ground, and the other men in the bar turn away. They all remember what happened to the last fools who touched me. One of them had his manhood completely destroyed, but across the room, two men watch from a private booth. One is Dylan Scott, a man of quiet authority. He thinks I look familiar, like a masked woman named Rose who beat him at a shooting match years ago, but his mind is on something else. Finding the mysterious doctor, known only as King. King is the only one who can save his dying sister. Suddenly, his friend Ralphie's phone rings. Ralphie answers, and his eyes light up with disbelief.
It's about King, the shooting competition.
He explains that King has just made a public announcement. The champion of next week's shooting competition will be granted one treatment session. Ralphie turns to Dylan, his voice filled with certainty.
Whoever wins earns a treatment session from King. And Dylan, you've been on top of that competition for 3 years straight.
The final round of the shooting competition comes down to two people, me and the undefeated champion, Dylan. To this massive crowd, I'm just some unknown woman who goes by the name Chrissy. But Dylan knows I'm Rose, the ghost from his past who utterly crushed him 3 years ago. The final challenge is a cruel twist designed for maximum difficulty. We shoot completely blindfolded. He steps up to the line first, a black mask hiding his face as the staff ties the blindfold on. He calmly fires 3 consecutive shots without the slightest hesitation. Each one strikes dead center of the target. A perfect score. The entire arena erupts in cheers, already crowning him the winner. In the front row, that arrogant rich girl Katie is already celebrating her victory. Dylan is amazing. I'll win him over and talk him into giving up that prize. Her boyfriend Brendan smugly agrees, not even taking me seriously as a threat. This match is Dylan's to take, no question. Now, it's my turn to face the target and the entire jeering crowd. I walk to the center of the stage, blindfolded, but I don't raise my weapon. I stand in complete silence, letting the crowd whisper that I'm too scared to even try. Then, in one fluid motion, I raise the gun behind my back, pointing it away from the target. Without even turning around to aim, I pull the trigger. Direct hit. The audience gasps in disbelief, immediately calling it a lucky shot. So I do it again, and then a third time, just to prove them wrong. 3 bullseyes, all fired from an impossible position. My victory is absolute and undeniable. Dylan is frozen in place, his confidence shattered. As the winner, I have the right to unmask him. You will peel off the mask yourself, or should I do it for you? He rips it off, revealing the face of Dylan Scott, the most powerful and influential man in the city. I ignore the shock on his face and turn to leave, but Katie blocks my path. Hold it right there. That reward, sell it to us. Just say how much you want. Nah, not for sale. Do you know what happens to people who go against the Dawson family? Furious that her family's money is completely useless against me, she lunges forward in a rage. She rips the mask from my face, exposing my true identity to the entire silent world. I tear off the white mask, revealing my face to the entire crowd. My ex-husband, Brendan, stands rooted to the spot, his brain failing to process what he's seeing.
Christina.
His sister, Katie, stares with her jaw dropped in disbelief. They can't reconcile the fact that the housewife they cast aside just won a professional shooting competition.
What the hell are you doing here, Christina?
I meet her anger with a razor-sharp smile.
Where I choose to be is none of your concern.
Burning with fury, Katie lunges forward, her hand raised to strike me across the face. But I am not the weak woman they remember. I catch her wrist mid-air, my grip unflinching and cold.
Ah.
Brendan immediately charges forward, his face dark with rage. He seizes my wrist, just as he always did when choosing his family over me.
Let go of Katie, now.
I release her, but Brendan refuses to let go of me. I meet his arrogant gaze with pure contempt. He wants to buy the prize I just won, a treatment opportunity from the king.
Sell me the king's treatment opportunity. I'll pay whatever it takes.
Anything I ask for.
Anything. Just don't ask for my heart or the position of my wife.
He still thinks I'm that pathetic woman, easily bought with money. He is dead wrong.
Then give me your life in return.
His expression darkens, completely thrown by my demand. Before he can respond, his precious Yolanda steps between us, her voice weak and trembling.
Christina, I know you can't stand me. If you're angry, aim it at me.
She puts on a masterful performance, painting herself as a selfless angel. But as she speaks, my eyes lock onto the necklace, gleaming around her throat. It's the exact same one Brendan gave me for our 3rd anniversary. A gift, he later admitted, that was never meant for me at all. My ex-husband's sister, Katie, gets in my face, defending his other woman.
If it weren't for you interfering, Yolanda and Brendan would be married with kids by now.
I just laugh. She's defending the woman who abandoned Brendan the second he was in a wheelchair.
I interfered? Funny. You're all hopelessly stupid. She was the one who abandoned Brendan back then.
Yolanda starts her fake crying act, claiming her grandfather forced her to leave. The whole family buys it, but I see right through her. Katie explodes with rage.
Do you really think someone like you would ever stand a chance of joining my family? Keep dreaming.
I just smirk right back at her. She raises her hand to slap me, but I'm faster. A loud smack echoes as my palm connects with her cheek.
Have you lost your fucking mind? You actually hit me.
She lunges at me again, but a voice booms through the room.
That's enough.
My ex-husband Brendan grabs my wrist. He tells me to ignore his immature sister, then tries to strike a deal. He wants the prize for the king's treatment, and he's using our past marriage as leverage.
If the position of my wife is all you're after, fine, you can have it again. Satisfied.
He actually thinks offering to remarry me is some grand prize. Before he can even process my words, I grab his wrist and twist. Hard.
No deal.
His face twists with arrogant disbelief. The man named Brendan thinks he can intimidate me after I won the shooting match. He's dead wrong. In one seamless motion, I flip him over my shoulder and slam him into the pavement. He hits the ground before he can even react, his face twisted in pain. As his friends Katie and Yolanda rush to his side, I start to walk away. But Katie isn't done. She screams at his crew.
What are you doing just standing there? Go after her.
A group of men starts to close in on me, but I don't even flinch. Before I can make a move, Dylan charges in from the edge of the crowd. He moves with brutal precision, his foot striking the first man's chest. One by one, he takes them all down in seconds. Just as the last man falls, the owner of the range, Ralphie, strides in with a squad of bodyguards.
You think you can stir up chaos in my shooting range and walk away? You've got a death wish.
He points at Brendan's crew, now groaning on the ground.
Get rid of them. They're banned for life.
His guards don't hesitate, dragging the men out without a word. Katie and Yolanda look pale, but Yolanda tries to argue with Dylan.
Mr. Scott, this wasn't our fault. Exactly. Christina started all of it.
Dylan's eyes narrow into a steely glare that silences them instantly.
Are you giving me instructions now?
But Katie recovers, trying a new tactic by appealing to his massive ego. She points a trembling finger right at me.
Mr. Scott, a woman like her couldn't have won against you fair and square. She must have cheated.
The crowd, who all lost money betting on Dylan, immediately starts shouting in agreement. I let out a dry laugh, fed up with their baseless accusations.
Fine then. Let's settle it with a match right now. The loser puts their hand on the line.
A cold silence falls over everyone. No one dares to accept my challenge. But Katie isn't backing down, her voice laced with suspicion.
You showed up in that white mask. For all we know, you could have switched places with someone else.
I look at Katie with pure contempt as she stands in the middle of the shooting range, loudly accusing me of being a cheater. The range manager, Ralphie, steps forward, his friendly expression completely gone. Are you implying our range operates unfairly? Katie immediately panics, waving her hands frantically in the air. No! It's just, I know Christina. She's just a regular housewife. She insists to the entire crowd that my only skill is doing household chores, and that I'm fooling them all. But Dylan, the shooting champion I just defeated, steps up to defend me. Not only can she shoot, she's extraordinary. This only makes Katie angrier, her face twisting with jealousy. She screams that I'm a fraud and a liar who doesn't deserve to be here. You're bewitched by her looks completely. Dylan has clearly had enough of her baseless accusations. He scans the skeptical faces in the crowd, seeing that they are just as ignorant as Katie. He decides to drop the bombshell that will silence them all. She's Rose, the very Rose who defeated me 4 years ago. A sudden, heavy hush falls over the entire space. Every single head in the room pivots toward me, their eyes wide. The silence is then broken by a surge of excited chatter and gasps. They all remember the legend of Rose, the mysterious shooter who vanished without a trace. Across the room, I see my ex-husband Brendan, frozen to the spot. His jaw is slack with total disbelief as he stares at me, as if seeing a ghost. He can't process what he's hearing. The dull, ordinary woman he divorced was secretly an intimidating legend this whole time. I can see the resentment simmering in his eyes as he realizes he never knew me at all. But Katie is still screaming, her voice shaking with fury as she refuses to accept reality. She can't be Rose. She's just a useless housewife. I finally turn my calm, unwavering gaze on her. Like I've said, if anyone doubts my identity, they're welcome to challenge me. I let my final words land with crushing weight, a promise of what's to come. But be warned, the stakes are a hand. Katie Dawson challenges me to a shooting match where the loser gives up a hand. But my ex, Brendan, cuts her off in a panic.
Katie.
He's terrified because he suspects the truth. He knows I'm the legendary shooter, Rose, and this is a fight she can't win. I'm done with their games. I've already won the grand prize. My win gets me a table at the exclusive Morfort restaurant.
If everyone's done making a scene, I'll be heading out for dinner.
I thank the man who oversaw the match, the powerful Dylan Scott.
Thanks for stepping in earlier, Mr. Scott.
As I walk away, I feel Katie's jealous eyes on me. She can't stand Dylan even looking in my direction. So she tries a pathetic trick. She fakes a fall, aiming to land right in his arms. But Dylan isn't a fool. He sees her coming, and with a look of pure annoyance, steps aside. Katie hits the hard floor with a cry.
Ah!
Yolanda rushes to her side and glares at Dylan.
Was there really nothing you could have done to stop her from falling?
Dylan gives her an ice-cold stare and walks away without a word. His friend Ralphie openly scoffs at them.
Consider yourself lucky. The last woman who tried that with Dylan didn't walk away unscathed.
I watch them from a distance as their next act begins. Yolanda turns on the waterworks for Brendan, playing the dying victim. She needs the prize I won, the one-of-a-kind king's treatment. Brendan eats it up, gripping her hand with grim determination.
Maybe it's time to let go. I don't care how long I have left.
I swear I'll find a way to make Christina give it to us willingly.
Willingly? They have no idea who they're trying to manipulate. I'm at my table in the Morfort restaurant when I see Brendan walk in with Yolanda. She's clinging to his arm, putting on a masterful performance with her red-rimmed eyes and trembling voice. She feeds him a practiced sob story about her grandfather threatening her, forcing her to leave the country 3 years ago. He buys every word, pulling her into a firm embrace and promising to protect her.
Yolanda, nothing will ever happen to you as long as I'm here.
She looks up at him, her eyes glistening with perfectly calculated tears. Then she asks the one question designed to twist the knife.
But tell me the truth. Is this just about hurting Christina?
Brendan's expression darkens instantly as he remembers my rejection. His gaze flickers toward my table, his voice sharp with a familiar disdain.
She isn't worth that kind of effort. I've never blamed you.
I see a tiny, triumphant smirk flash across Yolanda's face before she hides it in his chest. She knows she has him wrapped around her finger again. Katie joins them, sneering that someone like me doesn't deserve to breathe the same air as Yolanda. Katie keeps pushing, asking Brendan if he ever truly felt anything for me. His denial is swift and brutal, a final nail in the coffin of our marriage.
Nothing at all. Christina means nothing to me and never will.
He turns back to Yolanda, his eyes filled with an affection he never once showed me.
There's only one woman I've ever loved, and she's right here in front of me.
They came to this restaurant specifically to flaunt their love, to make sure I saw them. They wanted to humiliate me in public. But then the host begins to lead them to their table, A confused look crosses Brendan's face as they walk right past all the prime seating near the front. It seems his ranking in the design competition wasn't quite high enough to secure a decent spot. They end up at a small table, tucked away in a forgotten corner at the very back of the restaurant. And as they sit down, they have a perfect, unobstructed view of me, sitting all by myself, right at the front, at the first and best table in the house. I just won the shooting competition, and I can see my rivals are not taking it well. Across the room, Katie is staring daggers at me. Her friend Yolanda leans in, fanning the flames with a fake smile.
First place. She's kind of the star right now, isn't she?
That's all it takes for Katie to snap.
Who knows what kind of strings she pulled? Bet she slept her way to the championship.
Her words are loud enough for everyone to hear. Brendan, the man beside her, stiffens instantly. He looks furious that she's making him sound like a cuckold. Yolanda pretends to calm her down, which only makes it worse.
Christina doesn't really seem like that type.
But Katie just lets out a humorless laugh, her voice dripping with venom.
Don't be fooled. The second she signed those divorce papers, she started parading around. She's desperate.
Before she can spit out more poison, Brendan cuts her off.
That's enough. Eat.
Just then, a hush falls over the entire restaurant. The manager of the Morfort restaurant has entered the room. This isn't just any manager. The owner of this place is a legend, a ghost with terrifying power. Years ago, a noble family tried to challenge this restaurant. The owner didn't just ruin them. He destroyed them completely. Their family fortune vanished. Some went mad, others killed themselves. The survivors now beg on the streets for scraps. So when the manager walks, everyone holds their breath. He's the king's envoy. He scans the room with a polite smile, his eyes moving with silent authority. Then, he starts walking directly toward our section of the hall. I watch as Katie's eyes light up with a delusional excitement. She straightens her back, a smug smile spreading across her face. She's convinced the most powerful man in the room is coming for her. The entire banquet hall is buzzing with whispers, and they're all about Katie Dawson. Everyone assumes the manager of this exclusive Morfort restaurant is walking over to her table. The rumor is that the mysterious owner has taken a special interest in her. Wrapped in the glow of attention, Katie rises to her feet, looking like she's walking on air. She prepares a modest, bashful smile, fully expecting him to stop and greet her. But in a stunning reversal, the manager glides right past her without a second glance. Her perfect smile freezes mid-expression, her face falling in an instant. The humiliation is a physical blow, a slap in the face in front of everyone who is just admiring her. Her friend Yolanda leans in, trying to break the crushing tension and save her from the embarrassment.
Didn't you say you needed the bathroom? I'll come with you.
Katie quickly agrees, but as they turn to make their escape, both of them freeze mid-step, because the manager has stopped walking, right in front of my table. And he is beaming at me. He gives a slight bow, his voice polished and full of respect.
Miss Jones, my employer would be honored if you and your friend would join him for a private meal on the top floor.
A wave of complete shock and envy sweeps across the room as every single person stares at me. The Morfort restaurant's top floor isn't for regular patrons. It's practically sacred ground that requires a personal invitation. I glance over and see Brendan's grip tighten on his wineglass, his expression clouding over with anger. I can hear Katie sneering from her table, her voice dripping with bitterness and rage.
I told you before, she's always had a way of getting what she wants with her tricks. Now you see her knack for snaring men.
Brendan's voice cuts her off, not bothering to hide the chill in his tone.
Weren't you both headed to the restroom? Don't linger.
He is clearly in a foul mood, and Yolanda quickly nudges Katie away from his table. I stand up and follow the manager, leaving the entire mess of them behind me. I can feel Brendan's sharp eyes trailing my back as I walk away from him. His jaw is tight, his face a mask of frustration, like a man who tossed aside something he thought was worthless, only to watch someone else claim it as a treasure. The manager leads me and my friend Davina away from the buzz and up to the top floor. The space is a different world, quiet and filled with an understated, refined luxury. By a grand window sits Dylan Scott, the elusive owner, his presence commanding the entire room. I lead Davina over and take a seat without hesitation, a playful note in my voice.
Looks like Mr. Scott's got a request for me.
I knew Dylan wouldn't reveal he owns this restaurant unless he wanted something from me. Now, he's finally asking for it. He tells me he'll pay any price, whatever it costs.
I need King's treatment opportunity to save someone. Every cent, every favor. Name it.
A smirk plays on my lips. I decide to test just how far he'll go.
Even your life.
The question hangs in the air between us. Before he can answer, his friend Ralphie strolls in.
You've got guts, Miss Jones.
He's studying me, clearly intrigued. He's never seen anyone speak to Dylan this way. My best friend Davina just scoffs from her seat.
Christina's the best.
Ralphie chuckles, thinking it's just blind loyalty. He has no idea what I'm capable of. But I ignore them both. My eyes are locked on Dylan. There is no hesitation in his voice.
So, have you decided?
If that's the only way to secure King's treatment, I'm willing to give my life.
He's not bluffing. The steel in his expression tells me he means it. I can't help but wonder who is worth that much to him. But his life isn't what I'm after.
I know you're serious, but death isn't the currency I'm after. I've got other terms in mind.
His head snaps up, interest sparking in his eyes.
What kind of terms?
I sit across from Dylan Scott, the powerful owner of this restaurant. He needs my help, and he says the terms are mine to set. I decide to test just how serious he is. I drop my casual expression and look him in the eye.
What if I asked for your entire family?
The mood in the private room instantly shifts. Anyone else would think I plan to ruin him, but Dylan doesn't even flinch. A half smile just plays on his lips.
My life's worth more than the Scots put together.
He leans forward, his voice unwavering.
If I'm ready to hand my life over, the rest is just background noise.
His sharp answer makes me laugh out loud. He's passed my test. Dylan smoothly lifts his wine glass.
To making this work?
I raise my glass to meet his, but add a warning.
But I can't promise King will agree. That part's out of my hands.
His associate looks ready to argue, but Dylan cuts him off immediately.
No guarantees are fine with me. If there's even the tiniest chance, I'll take it.
His desperation is obvious. He'll risk everything for just one meeting. With the deal set, I down my wine in a single go. It's strange seeing the famously cold Dylan care so much for someone. When the meal is over, I push my chair back to stand. But the wine hits me all at once. The room spins and my balance gives out. I topple forward, unable to stop myself, and I fall directly into Dylan's chest. I lose my balance and stumble, falling directly toward Dylan. The entire room goes silent, everyone holding their breath. They all know Dylan's reputation. He despises any woman who tries to touch him. The manager panics, expecting me to be thrown out just like all the others. But what happens next leaves everyone in stunned silence. Instead of pushing me away, Dylan proactively reaches out. His response is swift, and his hands support me, preventing my fall. His friend Ralphie's eyes go wide with disbelief. This isn't the Dylan he knows. He vividly remembers when another woman, Katie, flung herself at Dylan. Dylan had swerved so fast, she practically crashed into the floor. His reaction toward her was ruthless, but with me, it's completely different. He is actually gentle.
Are you all right?
His voice is touched by an unusual softness.
I'm okay. Thank you for catching me.
He tries to downplay the moment, making it seem professional. I agree, keeping my tone just as professional.
We're sort of business partners after all.
Since we're partners, it's only natural we look out for one another.
A strange wave of displeasure crosses his face. He seems annoyed that I'm hiding behind our business deal, just like he is. After he sends the manager to see us out, I think the drama is over for the night. I am completely wrong. Outside the restaurant, my ex-husband Brendan is waiting with Katie. Katie is sneering, consumed with jealousy over me meeting the owner.
For all we know, she's probably enjoying the intimate encounter.
Brendan's jaw tightens in fury. Just then, his eyes land on me.
Katie Dawson, don't forget what I warned you about.
He immediately abandons Katie and storms forward, his face a mask of cold rage as he blocks my path. My ex-husband Brendan blocks my path, his eyes cold and demanding.
Step aside.
He doesn't move an inch, insisting we need to talk in private.
We need to talk, away from the others.
He reaches for my hand like he still owns me, but I snatch it away instantly.
Spit it out or step aside.
He glares past me at my friend Davina, dismissing her completely.
This is not for the ears of outsiders.
I refuse to let him intimidate her or me.
She's not an outsider. Cut the crap.
Publicly humiliated by my tone, he lashes out with a bitter accusation.
No time for me, but you've got time to flirt with the restaurant's owner.
He's trying to paint me as a cheater to make this my fault. But Davina steps forward and shuts him down hard.
That's Rich. You two are divorced.
His face flushes a deep red with rage, but he is left completely speechless. Defeated, he plays his final, manipulative card, his grandmother Bethel.
My grandma's been asking about you. She's not doing well.
Bethel was the only member of his family who ever showed me an ounce of kindness. The mention of her name is my one and only weakness when it comes to him. He sees my hesitation, and his voice turns into a pathetic, desperate plea.
Please, I am begging you.
I know in my gut that this is a trap, but I can't risk Bethel's health over it.
All right, I'll go, but only to see Bethel.
A triumphant, ugly smirk flashes across his face for a split second. Davina sees it too, and gives him a final, chilling warning.
If you so much as look at her the wrong way, you'll regret it.
He scoffs and ignores her, leading me toward a car he already has waiting. But before I can take a single step, a deafening roar makes us all freeze. A blinding pink sports car screeches to a halt beside us, and a sharp whistle cuts through the air. I'm standing on the curb when a flashy pink sports car screeches to a stop right in front of me. The driver is Ralphie, a notorious playboy. I ignore his silent fury and turn back to Ralphie. Need a lift home, Miss Jones? Anything for you. If anybody bothers you, just say the word. I'll handle it. Beside me, my ex-husband Brendan's jaw tightens. His eyes are filled with a dark suspicion. I can practically see him wondering if I was cheating on him even before our divorce. I'm good. But could you take my friend home instead? It has nothing to do with you. My friend Davina has had way too much to drink to drive safely. I help her into the expensive passenger seat. Before leaving, Ralphie shoots a meaningful look directly at Brendan. The car roars away, leaving me alone with my fuming ex. The moment it's gone, he's in my face. What's going on between you and him? His expression turns ugly as he begins to lecture me. I can't help but laugh right in his face. His family would never accept a divorced woman. The only reason you married me was because of my grandmother. He's warning me to stop dreaming of marrying a wealthy man again. In his mind, I'm used goods, and I should be grateful for what I once had. I stare him down, my voice perfectly calm and level. That's very thoughtful. But people who focus on their own problems tend to live longer. Are you cursing me? I gave you enough money. Why are you parading around with other men? Other men? Where's your proof? He finally explodes, his accusations spilling out like poison. First Dylan, then the restaurant owner, and now Ralphie. Don't you dare deny it. He's the one who cheated on me for years without an ounce of guilt. But the mere thought of me moving on is driving him completely insane. My ex-husband Brendan stands before me, accusing me of being shameless. I just shrug.
I am exactly what you think I am. After all, you're just my ex-husband now.
His face twists in anger. A cold laugh escapes my lips. I look past him to Yolanda, the woman he truly loves.
Were you sleeping around while we were still married? Yes. I never loved you. This marriage was forced on me.
That's rich coming from you. Your heart always belonged to someone else.
Yolanda puts on a show of fake regret.
Christina, I'm sorry.
Brendan immediately takes her hand, his voice turning to ice as he faces me. He tells me the divorce settlement was more than enough payment for my time.
I owe you nothing. The real mistake here was this marriage. It never should have happened.
He actually thinks I owe him. Katie laughs, calling me fickle and shameless.
You could have saved us both the trouble by simply not proposing in the first place.
He sputters out an excuse. Just then, his sister Katie storms into the conversation.
My grandmother pushed me. Not marrying you would have meant losing my place in the company.
So, his money was always more important than my life.
So much for true love. Quit trying to sow discord here. Brendan isn't coming back to you.
She tells me to forget about ever rejoining the Dawson family.
Even if the entire Dawson family came crawling, I wouldn't rejoin them. No respectable family would take the risk. Even average people wouldn't want you.
I let a cold smile touch my lips and fix my stare on her.
You might as well worry about your own skeletons.
A flash of pure panic washes over Katie's face. She knows I can ruin her. I stand before my ex-husband Brendan and his little friend Katie, a cold smirk fixed on my face. I look directly at Katie, making sure she understands my words are for her and her alone.
No one is more familiar with the truth than you are.
Brendan, always a step behind, looks completely baffled by my statement.
What are you getting at? What kind of skeletons does Katie have in the cupboard?
I tell him that's a private conversation he should have with her, that I couldn't care less about her affairs. I never would have said a thing if she hadn't provoked me first. Before he can press further, Yolanda jumps in, putting on a show of concern.
Christina, please refrain from casting baseless accusations against Katie.
She's trying to paint me as the vicious ex-wife, ingratiating herself with Brendan while making me look bad. They both insist I explain what I mean to clear the air for Katie's sake. Fine. If they're so determined to hear the truth, I'll give them a hint. I turn my full attention back to a visibly nervous Katie, letting a sly grin curl my lips.
Should I spell it out right here?
As the question hangs in the air, I let my gaze drift downward, landing pointedly on her midsection. It's a silent threat. A gesture that says more than words ever could. Katie catches the look instantly, and the color drains from her face. She knows I hold proof of her misdeeds, a secret that would shatter her ambitions. Her dream of marrying into an elite family would be crushed if I speak. All her defiance evaporates in a wave of pure panic.
Are we heading to the Dawson estate or not? Stop wasting time.
Brendan agrees without hesitation. He needs me to see his grandmother, Bethel. It's a crucial step in his plan to convince me to give him a valuable medical treatment opportunity for someone named King. In the car, the silence is heavy with unspoken tension. I stare out the window, ready for the next battle. I decide to break the silence myself, bringing up the one thing he keeps avoiding.
When do you plan to tell Bethel about our divorce?
He avoids my eyes, giving a vague, non-committal answer about waiting for the right moment. My response is flat and final. We have no ties left to sever. My eagerness to be free of him wounds his pride, and his frustration quickly turns to malice.
Since the divorce is settled and Yolanda's back, I'll be with Yolanda now. Maybe you'll even get an invitation to our wedding.
I'm in the car with my ex-husband, Brendan, on the way to see his grandmother. He's pretending we're still married. I look him dead in the eye.
I wish you and Yolanda a lifetime of happiness.
His face falls, but I don't care. I get out of the car and leave him behind. His grandmother, Bethel, is waiting at the door, her face lit up with a genuine smile.
It feels like ages since you last stopped by, Christina.
She pulls me into a hug, then leans in to whisper. I freeze, completely caught off guard.
Did Brendan not exercise any restraint in intimacy, overwhelming you?
She immediately senses something is wrong, but Brendan quickly rushes us inside. At dinner, Bethel serves us a special soup. She says it's to help us have a baby.
All I want now is to see a great-grandchild in my arms.
Brendan just smiles and plays along with the lie. I can't bring myself to say a single word.
You can count on that. Grandma, your wish will come true.
After the meal, Bethel pulls me aside for a private chat. She tells me she's getting older and doesn't know how much time she has left. I can't lie to this sweet old woman any longer. I take a deep breath and tell her the truth.
Actually, Brendan and I are already divorced.
The room goes silent. Bethel stares at me in stunned disbelief. Suddenly, Brendan's voice barks from the doorway.
Christina.
He rushes in, desperately trying to cover for me, but I refuse to back down. I look his grandmother straight in the eye.
No, she's making things up. It's just a joke.
This isn't a joke. The divorce is real. It's already official.
My ex-husband Brendan storms toward me, his face dark with anger. What on earth are you doing, Christina? I meet his gaze without flinching. I just told the truth. Bethel deserved to know. Before he can answer, his grandmother cuts him off. That's enough! Why are you raising your voice at her? Her eyes narrow in on Brendan, demanding the real story. He tries to lie about our divorce, but she sees right through it. Either you tell me the truth now, or I'll find it myself. Brendan's jaw tightens. He finally mutters the name I knew was coming. Yolanda's back. Bethel slams both hands on the table, her eyes burning with fury. I told you before, I will never allow Yolanda to join this family. She reminds him how Yolanda vanished years ago, the moment doctors said he might never walk again. Then, she points a trembling finger directly at me. Who stayed by your side? Who looked after you? Christina did. But Brendan just scoffs, dismissing years of my life in a single breath. My recovery was all about my own willpower. Anyone could have taken care of me. I remain silent, but my blood runs cold. He would be trapped in that wheelchair forever if it weren't for me. In a flash, Bethel raises her cane and strikes him hard across the shoulder. You ungrateful fool! He tells her he paid me off, that he's earned the right to be with the woman he loves. She lifts her cane to strike again, but this time, he catches it mid-swing. I'm done backing down. I will marry Yolanda. Bethel's voice drops to a venomous whisper. The day you bring that woman into this house is the day you lose everything. Brendan doesn't even blink. His decision is made. Suddenly, his grandmother gasps, her face paling. She clutches her chest, the cane slipping from her grasp. With a choked cry, she collapses to the floor. The air in the hospital was thick with tension after Brendan's grandmother, Bethel, was rushed into the ER. My ex, Brendan, paced outside, his anxiety turning to ice-cold anger aimed directly at me.
This is your doing. I told you we needed the right time to tell my grandmother.
He demanded I play a part for his grandmother's sake. He wanted me to pretend we were still a loving couple, just until she recovered from the shock.
It's a performance. Don't make it more than that. Don't get delusional.
His arrogance was stunning, but I fired back with my own icy words.
Wow, your ego's still the size of a small planet, huh? Relax. If every man on Earth vanished overnight, I'd still never come crawling back to you.
My words hit their mark, but he quickly hid it behind a smug smirk. He actually believed I was just protecting my pride, that after years of devotion, I couldn't have possibly let him go. I agreed to his ridiculous plan, but not for him. I did it for Bethel, the woman who had shown me nothing but warmth and compassion after he shattered my world.
Fine.
My quick agreement was a mistake. It fed his massive ego. He saw it as proof that I still had feelings for him, and immediately pushed for more.
Then hand over the treatment slot with King.
I saw his true motive instantly. This was never about his grandmother. I refused without a second of hesitation.
I've already told you no.
He tried to paint me as the villain, twisting the situation to his advantage.
You'd really risk my grandma's life? King could save her.
But I knew the truth. He wanted the world-renowned surgeon for his new girlfriend, Yolanda. I wasn't about to let that happen. I explained that Bethel was stable, that her chronic conditions were well managed because of me. For 3 painstaking years, I had personally overseen her care, tracking every symptom and every treatment. I made sure her body was strong enough for this exact situation. She didn't need a miracle worker. The surgery was routine. But Brendan wouldn't listen, his voice dripping with manipulation.
If you really care about her, you'll hand over the treatment slot. It's the only way to ensure she survives.
I stood my ground, about to find another way to shut him down. But before I could speak, a shrill scream tore through the hallway, followed by a furious shout. You bitch! My husband's mother, Jocelyn, swings to slap my face. But I'm faster. I pivot, catch her wrist, and twist it hard.
Ah, ouch, ouch, ouch!
My husband Brendan and his sister Katie rush to her side.
Christina, let go.
I release her instantly. Jocelyn cradles her arm, her face twisted with hate.
You put Bethel in the hospital. If she dies, you'll rot in jail.
I refuse to be their scapegoat. I look her dead in the eye. Brendan just shakes his head, faking disappointment.
Your precious son is accountable. He's the one who pushed Bethel over the edge.
Then he reveals what they really want.
Give up your treatment slot for my grandma, and we'll move forward.
They expect me to sacrifice my own health to clean up their mess. My answer is simple and final.
Never.
The family explodes.
See, Brendan? I told you she was vile.
Jocelyn's voice drips with venom.
Trash. That's all she ever was.
They laugh when I say I can find a surgeon for Bethel. They think I'm a nobody with no power and no connections. They believe I want their grandmother to die. I let them mock me. I let them believe they've won. Then I drop the name that will silence them all.
I'm bringing in Dr. Calvin Emmett.
I announce I can get the country's top surgeon, Dr. Emmett, to treat Bethel. The room erupts in disbelief and mockery. Dr. Emmett? The top cardiac surgeon in the entire country? My ex-husband's family laughs in my face. Oh, please. Do you hear yourself? That's ridiculous. Brendan tells me I've been out of the game for years, reduced to doing chores. You don't have the influence. Just give King's treatment opportunity to me and save yourself the humiliation. But I'm done being their punching bag. And what if I do bring him? What then? I see the greed in their eyes, so I propose a wager. If I get Dr. Emmett, every one of them owes me a public apology and $5 million. And if you fail, what if he doesn't even step foot here? I raise the stakes. Then I'll forfeit my shot at treatment from the great king and pay you $5 million. Brendan's eyes light up at the chance to steal my opportunity. Deal? He doesn't believe for a second I can pull this off. He thinks I'm pathetic, still trying to get his attention. Later, after Bethel is moved to a VIP suite, she tries to get us back together. To keep her calm, I give a vague answer and stay by her side for hours. I only leave once she's drifted off to sleep. But as I step out into the crisp evening air, a black van screeches to a halt in front of me. The doors burst open. In seconds, a group of rugged men storms out. They close in around me like a pack of wolves. In the blink of an eye, I'm hauled into the back of a van. These men move with chilling precision. A rough hand covers my mouth before I can make a sound. Taking them down would be child's play for me, but I decide against it. I need to discover who went to such lengths to snatch me. They shove a wad of cloth between my teeth and cinch ropes around my wrists. I let my body thrash, my voice coming out in muffled screams. To them, I look like I've been scared senseless. Enough, shut up already. Move again and I'll slice you. He gives me a rough shove. I recoil and let tears spring to my eyes, the perfect picture of despair. My act works. They lower their guard and start talking amongst themselves. One of them gives me a leering look. Damn, look at this chick. Wouldn't mind a turn. The leader slams an elbow into his ribs. The Terrells. The name hangs in the air. The other man rubs his head, confused.
Keep your mouth shut. She's marked for the Terrells.
What she did to get on their blacklist?
Word is, she messed up Jacob in a bar, left him permanently impotent.
The pieces click into place. I remember that arrogant predator trying to corner me. Jacob Terrell got exactly what he deserved. In fact, letting him live was an act of generosity. And now he has the nerve to strike back? He isn't just seeking revenge. He's courting death. Behind my facade of trembling fear, a cold smirk tugs at my lips. A glint of something ruthless and deadly flickers in my eyes. A rough hand drags me out of the van. They shove me toward a huge, abandoned warehouse. My ankles are tied, but my mind is razor sharp. I listen as my captors start to talk. Just gotta call Jacob's coming himself to handle her. She's in for it then. He likes it when they scream in pain. They toss me into a dusty corner like garbage. To them, I look like a broken, trembling rabbit. But when I hear Jacob's name, I have to hide a smile. He thinks he's coming here to make me beg for mercy. He doesn't know he's just volunteered for his own slaughter. Forget about running. Sit tight. They walk outside, completely convinced I'm too terrified to move. The moment they're gone, I twist my wrists against the ropes. They're loose. I can break free in a second. But I wait, keeping my head down. The curtain is about to rise on the real show. Suddenly, a car engine cuts the silence. A voice, thick with arrogance and malice, echoes through the building.
Where's that little bitch?
One of his goons rolls him inside. Jacob Terrell is in a wheelchair. He's here for payback. Payback for the bar fight where I destroyed his manhood and left him clinging to life. For years, his family has been desperately searching for a miracle doctor named King to fix him. Their latest plan was to capture a famous shooting champion to use as leverage. But they just made the biggest mistake of their lives. The champion they're hunting is me. The man I put in that wheelchair is rolled before me. His name is Jacob, and he sees me tied up in the corner, looking pitiful. He has no idea who he's really talking to.
So you're the sharpshooter everyone talks about.
I make my body tremble, playing the part he expects.
What do you want from me?
His eyes are bloodshot with pure rage.
Don't act like you've forgotten what you did. You wrecked me.
I feign a moment of dawning horror.
Oh, it's you.
He sneers, finally getting to his point. He needs a treatment slot with the legendary healer known as King. He wants my slot. I have to stop myself from laughing in his face.
Give up your treatment slot, and I might let you leave in one piece.
I let tears fill my eyes, putting on the performance of a lifetime.
I can't hand it over.
He growls, ready to explode. So I decide to twist the knife.
It's too late. I already sold the slot.
His face contorts, the rage nearly making him leap from his chair.
You had the nerve to sell it? Who got it?
He leans in, his voice a venomous whisper.
You won't live to see another sunrise.
That's my cue. The act is over. I lift my chin, my voice suddenly as steady as stone.
I am.
A sick smile spreads across his lips as he turns to his goons.
Get her clothes off. Now.
My attackers lunge at me in the dark warehouse. They see a frightened rabbit, tied up and helpless. But they don't know I've already worked my ropes loose. I'm about to make my move and teach them a lesson. Suddenly, a gunshot cracks through the air. The thug closest to me drops to the floor, lifeless. More shots ring out. Bang, bang, bang. Jacob's men hit the ground one by one, like toy soldiers. In seconds, only Jacob is left standing in a sea of bodies. That's when he strides through the door. Dylan Scott. His eyes are cold as death, a pistol held steady in his hand. He crashes to his knees, sobbing hysterically. Jacob scrambles to run, but Dylan's men grab him and throw him to the floor. Mr. Scott, please, I beg you have mercy. Dylan presses the cold barrel of his gun to Jacob's head. A dark stain spreads across the front of Jacob's pants. Before Jacob can finish his plea, Dylan kicks him hard in the ribs. Who gave you permission to touch the woman under my protection? Jacob just gapes, his face a mask of pure terror. From this moment on, the Terrell family is finished in this city. He turns to his men. Find everyone involved in the kidnapping. Don't stop until each one begs for death. Jacob prostrates himself on the dirty floor, his body shaking. Mr. Scott, please, I'm begging you. Spare me. Spare my family. Dylan just snorts, his eyes glinting with contempt. You're not sorry. You're just terrified. His men grab Jacob and begin dragging him away. Get him out of here. Jacob's frantic shrieks fill the warehouse as he's pulled toward the door. Dylan gives a slight, almost invisible nod, and one of his men delivers a quick chop to Jacob's neck. The screaming stops, and in the sudden silence, I see Dylan not as a savior, but as death itself. I sit frozen in a corner, my eyes locked on the bloodied bodies scattered across the floor. The man who put them there, Dylan, mistakes my shock for fear. He crouches beside me, his large frame blocking the gruesome scene. His calloused palm moves to gently cover my eyes.
Don't be afraid. I'm here. You're safe.
He carefully turns my face towards him, shielding me from the carnage.
Don't look. Just think of it like a bad dream.
The usual frost in his dark eyes has thawed, replaced by an unfamiliar warmth. As he reaches for the ropes binding me, his gaze falls on my wrists. He sees the deep, angry welts where the ropes rubbed my skin raw. Something inside him detonates, and a dangerous darkness fills his eyes. His voice is low and rough when he speaks.
Does it hurt?
I shake my head no, but as soon as I'm free, my legs buckle beneath me. In an instant, he catches me, his arms a steel cage around my body. We're suddenly chest to chest, so close I can feel the heat radiating from him. I try to push away, but a scrape on my knee sends a jolt of pain through me. His frown deepens into something lethal as he looks at my swollen ankle.
Forgive me.
Without another word, he lifts me effortlessly into his arms. I protest, flustered by the sudden, overwhelming contact.
Seriously, I'm fine. It's just a scratch. You're overreacting.
A scratch is still an injury. I'm not overreacting.
His simple, firm statement shatters something inside me, because this unexpected care triggers a memory of absolute indifference. I remember the day I accidentally sliced my hand open with a kitchen knife. My husband at the time, Brendan, shot me a single, cold glance. He ordered a servant to get a first aid kit and then walked off without a backward look. He never once asked if I was okay. Not in that moment, not ever. But I saw the way he treated Yolanda, brushing her hair from her face with such gentle hands. He was capable of warmth and affection, just not for me. And in this moment, I realize a brutal truth. This ruthless killer is showing me more kindness over a scrape than the man I loved ever showed me for a bleeding wound. Dylan pulls me into his arms, turning me away from the violence. He shields my eyes from the bloodshed. His gaze turns to his men, his expression hardening into a cold mask. Clean it up, not a single trace left behind. His subordinates move without a word. Still holding me, Dylan walks away with the authority of a king. I lean against his chest, my eyes tracing his strong jawline. He is magnetic, impossibly perfect. We'll stop by the hospital later for a checkup. It's just a small scratch. No need to worry. He looks down at me, and the ice in his eyes melts. Better to check it anyway, otherwise, I won't be at ease. My heart skips a beat. Please. A scrape might be minor to you, but to me, it's a big deal. He calls us business partners, but his concern feels so genuine. Brendan never even acknowledged my bleeding wound, but this man, a near stranger, can't stand to see a single scratch on my skin. All right. As we reach the car, he gently lowers me to my feet. I bend to get inside. A sudden, sharp pain explodes through my skull. My vision dims, and my body gives out. In a flash, Dylan catches me before I hit the pavement. I hear his voice, laced with a tension I've never heard before. Christina? I can't answer. He quickly checks my pulse, his relief visible when he finds it. He lifts me into the back seat, carefully tucking his own suit jacket over me. Through my fading consciousness, I see the driver, frozen in the front seat. His face is a mask of pure shock, seeing his boss break every one of his rules for a woman. The last thing I remember is being dragged into darkness. My world was a blur of fear and chaos. But then I saw him through the haze. I heard his voice slice through the air, sharp and clear. Dylan was there, his face a mask of cold fury as he pulled me from my captors.
Just drive.
I collapsed into his arms, and everything went black. Now, I wake up to the feeling of soft sheets and warm sunlight, but my body is instantly on high alert. This isn't my room. This isn't my bed. My eyes fly open, scanning the unfamiliar space. Then the memories return. The kidnapping. Dylan saving me. I realize I must be in his house. I'm safe. My gaze falls to my wrist, where the ropes had dug into my skin, but the raw, chafed skin is gone. It's been cleaned and carefully treated. A pristine white bandage is wrapped neatly around it. I sit up, my heart pounding with a strange, unfamiliar emotion. I pull back the blanket to check my ankle. It was just a minor scrape. Nothing serious at all. But he bandaged that too. He took the time to medicate it and wrap it with perfect care. A smile I can't control spreads across my face. My ex-husband treated me like I was nothing, an inconvenience. He wouldn't have even noticed I was hurt. But Dylan, he treats a tiny scratch like it's the most important thing in the world. He sees value in the parts of me I thought were broken. And for the first time in years, I start to wonder if he's right. I wake up in a strange bed. I look down and freeze. I'm wearing a black silk nightgown. This isn't what I was wearing last night. My mind immediately goes to Dylan. Did he change my clothes? Before I can dwell on it, there's a soft knock at the door. I open it, ready to ask him what happened. But it's not Dylan. A young girl stands there, beaming with energy. She looks like him, but her lips are pale. I can tell she isn't well.
Good morning. Are you hungry? Breakfast is ready.
I realize who she must be.
You're Dylan's little sister. Yep, I'm Chloe.
I gesture to the nightgown, my cheeks turning pink.
This nightgown.
Chloe lets out a small laugh.
That was me. You didn't really think my brother would do that, did you?
Relief washes over me. She winks and tells me not to take forever. I follow her down the stairs and head toward the kitchen. As I approach the doorway, I hear her voice and stop. Dylan is inside, stirring a pot on the stove.
Dylan, do you like Christina?
His hand pauses mid-stir. He quickly regains his composure and denies it.
No, I don't like her. And stop playing matchmaker.
But Chloe doesn't buy it for a second.
Really? Because if you're not interested, someone else might be. Christina's absolutely gorgeous. You'll regret it if you don't act fast.
I walk toward the kitchen and I hear my name. I stop just around the corner. Hidden from view,
If Christina's not your type, I can set you up with one of my classmates.
I hear Dylan's voice drop, suddenly cold and sharp.
Stop playing matchmaker for me.
There's a pause. And then Chloe's tone changes completely. The playfulness is gone, replaced by a quiet sadness.
With my health being what it is, well, who knows how long I've got.
My heart sinks. I peek around the corner and see her trying to smile, but her eyes are glistening. She tells him she isn't afraid of dying. Dylan steps toward her, his face set like stone.
I'm just afraid of leaving you all behind. I love you too much.
You're not going anywhere. If I have to fight death himself, I will.
He tells her he's just returning the favor. He says she pulled him from death's grip years ago. Now it's his turn. He reaches out and gently brushes a tear from the corner of her eye.
Stop crying. You look ugly when you cry.
A small, watery laugh escapes her. The tension breaks, but the sadness still hangs in the air.
I am not ugly.
After another moment, she picks up some bowls from the counter. Her laughter rings out, bright and full of life. It's a strange sound to hear from someone living on borrowed time. She steps out of the kitchen, and she sees me. Her smile freezes. Her eyes go wide with shock.
Christina.
I walk into the kitchen and stop dead. Dylan is standing there in a perfectly tailored suit, but tied over his expensive clothes is a soft, bright pink apron. The contrast is almost comical, but then I see the thick black scarf wrapped tightly around his neck. His sister Chloe just grins at my confusion. Oh, that apron? My mom picked it out. It's not his style at all. I have to agree with her mom. The apron is one thing, but the scarf makes no sense. Your mom has good taste. It's really cute. Is your neck okay? Why the scarf? He instinctively reaches up, tugging the scarf higher. His expression is a blank mask, but his body gives him away. It's a clumsy, obvious lie. I've got a bit of a cold. Mild allergic reaction, too. I know exactly what he's hiding under there. It's the faint mark my lips left on his skin last night. He didn't wash it off. He's covering it up, as if trying to preserve it. But I let his secret slide, because I'm here for Chloe. During the meal, I find my moment and take her hand. My health's always been a little off. Nothing to worry about. Her skin is ice cold. She laughs it off with a carefree smile. But I can feel the truth pulsing through her veins. Her condition isn't just a little off. It's serious, dangerously so. I look from her fragile smile to Dylan's worried eyes. I set my fork down, my expression hardening. There's something important I need to discuss. Dylan and his sister Chloe are staring at me, their faces etched with concern.
If something's wrong, you can be honest. My brother will take care of anything.
I shake my head and give her hand a reassuring squeeze. Their jaws drop in a chorus of shock.
Nothing's wrong. Actually, King just reached out to me.
What did King say?
Dylan is stunned, never expecting a reply from the elusive King so fast. I look him straight in the eye and repeat King's first question. Dylan gives a somber nod, admitting Chloe might only have a year left.
The patient you're desperate to save, it's your sister, isn't it?
I turn to Chloe and describe her rare symptoms with perfect accuracy.
Do you ever get chills so deep that it feels like you're trapped in a freezer? And splitting headaches?
Chloe's eyes widen in absolute shock.
Spot on. How did you know that?
A glimmer of hope sparks in Dylan's eyes as he realizes this is King's remote diagnosis. I confirm the messages from King, then deliver the news they've been praying for.
And as for our agreement, King accepts.
You mean? King really agrees to help?
Yes. King has promised to cure your sister.
Dylan's chest tightens in disbelief. I give him a steady, certain nod. Overwhelming relief washes over them, but I cut their celebration short.
But if King says there's a cure, then there is one.
Their smiles vanish instantly, replaced by anxiety. Dylan demands to know the catch. He immediately asks if a cure is truly possible. I explain King's one condition. Chloe's condition must be stabilized before surgery. My absolute confidence puzzles him. He doesn't know he's not talking to a messenger, he's talking to King. I'm at the table with Dylan and his sister, Chloe. She's sick, but she's trying to smile. Her only hope is a mysterious healer named King.
I wonder what King is like. A man or a woman? Old or young?
Dylan just shakes his head and slides a bowl of soup in front of her.
King doesn't take on apprentices. Now eat before it gets cold.
Chloe turns to me, her eyes lighting up.
Christina, you have to try this. Dylan made it, and it's honestly amazing.
I smile and pick up my spoon. The aroma is incredible. I take the first sip, and I freeze. The flavor is deep, complex, and shockingly familiar. A memory hits me like a lightning bolt. Years ago, I was a judge in a prestigious cooking competition. Everything was anonymous. The chefs, the judges, everyone was a secret. The winning dish was an onion soup. This soup, it doesn't just taste similar, it is identical. The champion's codename was Blaine, and I was judge number 6. My mind races. Could Dylan be Blaine? I immediately shake the thought away. Impossible! He's the head of the Scott Group, a famous business mogul.
Is it good? It's more than good. It's incredible.
Chloe beams, then leans in close with a mischievous look.
His cooking skills are reserved for his future wife. I only get to enjoy it today because you're here.
Her eyes sparkle.
Christina, have you ever considered becoming my sister-in-law?
Dylan's sister, Chloe, watches me with a warm, eager smile across the breakfast table. She is a world away from the coldness of women like Katie. I decide to test her genuine charm with a direct challenge.
But tell me, do you think your brother would mind a divorced woman?
The bright grin on Chloe's face falters instantly. Her eyes dart over to Dylan, who sits watching us with an unreadable expression. It's obvious he's been keeping secrets about my past. I don't wait for an awkward explanation from him. I just come right out and say it myself.
I'm newly divorced.
Her curiosity immediately sparks again, but not in the way I expect.
Any children?
I shake my head, keeping a small smile on my face. My marriage to Brendan was a complete sham. Kids were never part of the equation. But instead of looking relieved, Chloe's face falls in genuine disappointment.
That's too bad. I was looking forward to a niece or nephew right away.
I am completely caught off guard by her reaction. She wasn't worried about the divorce at all. She was upset about the lack of a baby. A mischievous grin suddenly spreads across her face as she leans in.
Are you talking about babies with Dylan?
My own joke has just been turned on me, and I feel my cheeks burn with heat. I decide to play along, leaning in close and lowering my voice.
That all depends on whether your brother's up for it.
Chloe throws her hand up in the air, answering for him without hesitation.
Of course he is. Christina, you're gorgeous. Your babies would be adorable.
She turns on her brother, putting him directly on the spot.
You should focus on eating.
I look over at Dylan. His face is a mask of stone, but I see a faint blush creeping up the tips of his ears. After breakfast, as I get ready to leave for the hospital, I realize this powerful patriarch of the Scott family cooks like a 5-star chef, completely shattering my expectations. But just as I reach for my bag, Chloe latches onto my arm, her eyes pleading as she refuses to let me go. Dylan's sister, Chloe, is recovering from her illness. She clings to me, begging me not to leave.
Why don't you let Dylan drive you around every day?
She's already decided we're the perfect couple. Dylan has to gently pry her off of me.
Easy there. She had a rough night, remember?
I promise Chloe I'll visit again soon, just to calm her down. Once we're in the car, Dylan apologizes for his sister's bluntness.
Don't take her words too seriously. She just likes you a lot.
I just laugh, telling him not to worry about it.
I think she's sweet.
I see a flicker of disappointment in his eyes. My casual response seems to bother him. The silence in the car suddenly feels heavy. I turn to look out the window, watching the city blur past. But I can feel him staring at me. I turn my head back suddenly. Our gazes collide and lock. The air between us crackles with a quiet electricity. Dylan is the first to look away, completely flustered.
Are we going to your place, or...?
I force a smile to break the tension.
Just drop me at the hospital. I need to see someone.
He focuses on the road, but I can sense his heart thudding in his chest. A strange feeling spreads through me. Am I actually developing feelings for Dylan? The thought is ridiculous. I immediately push it away. When we arrive, I thank him and slip out of the car. But neither of us knows we're being watched. From a dark corner of the lot, a hidden figure raises a phone. And they snap a photo of our parting moment. I spent the entire day at the hospital with Bethel. Her own family never showed. When she's finally asleep, I step out. And I walk right into them. The Dawson siblings.
Bethel's asleep. If you want to visit, come back tomorrow.
Katie instantly gets in my face.
Since when do you get to decide when we see our own grandmother?
I give her a cold smile.
The one you didn't bother to visit all day? Should I praise you for showing up now?
Furious, she raises a hand to slap me. But I'm faster. I catch her wrist.
You really don't learn, do you?
I flick her wrist away, and she runs to her brother, crying. Now, Brendan steps forward.
Our family matters are none of your concern.
He grabs my wrist in a punishing grip.
Apologize to Katie.
In your dreams.
His grip tightens, but seeing my reddened eyes, he hesitates. That's all the time I need. I wrench my arm free.
Bethel showed me kindness. That makes her my business.
I try to walk past, but Brendan blocks me again. His gaze drops to my neck. He sees a faint blush on my skin. His face twists with jealousy.
Who is he? Who are you with?
I just laugh.
Brendan, you're my ex-husband. You have no right to question me.
But he just glares back, his voice low and possessive.
Our divorce hasn't been made public. Everyone still thinks you're my wife.